Welcome back. A while ago, I made a video called Why I Usually Don't Resign. And in that video, I gave a few reasons. One is you can't win if you resign. You could still lose if you keep playing, but you could draw or you could win. But if you resign, well, you can only lose. But I don't always follow my advice. And I've found out recently in a couple of games where I resigned, I was either winning or at least equal. And I'm just going to walk through a couple of those games and hopefully we'll learn something. All right, the first game I'm going to show you is this one here on Lichess. And I had a slight advantage after 14 moves. And my opponent had just moved their queen here, which was a blunder. And apparently all I had to do was play f3. And I don't think I'll understand that move. That's the only good move here, because it looks like I'm about to move my knight. I'm about to lose my knight. And also it looks like I'm about to be in big trouble here because their knight guards that square. After I lose my knight, they're going to be coming in, and I'm in big trouble. Honestly, I didn't notice that my bishop was guarding this. But anyway, what I did was I thought, hey, one way I can guard this is by castling. So I castled. Well, that's a huge blunder, and I was behind here. And this was a blitz game, so there was a little bit of time pressure, but my opponent and I are in about the same situation. So they did take my knight. I accidentally played the best move there. And after a few more moves, I'm still down. You can see the evaluation bar. Black has a -7, almost -8 advantage. Oh, now it is -8 advantage here. Again, I wasn't sure quite what to do here. It says I should just play h3, but I didn't know that. I played f4, thinking maybe they won't take here, and then that's chasing their queen away. And then my opponent didn't take there, and it did chase their queen away, and they went there. That's a huge blunder, but right here I didn't know they blundered. I thought I was still way behind, and I thought nothing can stop this. If you look at the engine, you see I have a +2 advantage now because of the queen blunder. Going back, what they should have done was just taken that pawn. But again, I played this move here in desperation, thinking that I was way behind and about to lose one way or another. So I just threw the pawn up there. And of course, it's blitz. We each have less than a minute left. But instead of my opponent taking, they played that. But once they did, I didn't realize how big of a blunder it was. I thought, I'm about to lose. Engine says I can just capture their knight for free with my bishop, and I'm fine. But I resigned right here, thinking it was about over. Thought, let's just go on to the next game. Apparently, the idea is that once I take their knight, if they do take here, guess what? I just escape. Now what are they going to do? Now I'm at +4. But I didn't know that. So if you've also been following along, a while back I made a video called Working on My Weaknesses, or Identifying My Weaknesses. And one of the weaknesses I identified was not being able to properly analyze a position in the middle of the game. And now it's the case here. I did not analyze that I was fine. Not only am I going to get a free piece, but if they do check me down here taking that pawn, I can just escape, and then I can continue my attack. I'll show another example. Okay, in this game, I thought we were about even until my opponent played this coming after my rook. I wasn't sure exactly where to move my rook. The engine says I can go to b7, I can go to g7, or what's the other idea here? Or c7 even, and I would be fine. So of all the places I could have gone, I didn't pick one of those that would have maintained equality. I thought, hey, rook's on the 7th, right? In my opponent's case, it's going to be the 2nd rank because they're playing with the white pieces. But I thought from there, I can hit that pawn. I'm going to keep their king from coming out. I played that. Well, that's a huge blunder because, they chop off a pawn. That wasn't actually what they were supposed to do. They were supposed to check me here. I didn't know that. But I saw, oh no, they've chopped off a pawn. I was like, you know what? I can chop off a pawn here and come for their rook. Come for their knight. So I did that. Well, that turns out to be a mistake. And then they played there, and I resigned. because this is what I thought. Well, I'm going to move out of check, right? I mean, I only have 2 legal moves in this situation. And when I move out of check, they're going to go here, which protects their knight and attacks mine. And I thought I didn't have anything. But I did. If I just simply go here, and even if they play that, which it's listed as their best move, I just get my knight out of danger, and I have a slight advantage. Because look, where are their pawns going to go? Those pawns can't go anywhere. This pawn can't go anywhere. And, I mean, they can move that pawn. They can't move their king. I mean, they can move their king sideways, but they can't bring their king toward the middle because of where my rook is. My rook's cutting off that entire back rank. And now that I've had time to look at it, I see that I actually have the advantage here. My disadvantage is that my king is also trapped on my back rank. But my advantage is that, I mean, they're just going to play this, and I'm probably going to go here. In fact, that's what Stockfish says, and then I can just start chopping off these pawns, because only one of them can move. That d-pawn's a goner, and then their other d-pawn's not going to survive either. I suppose if they try to get my knight at some point, I can just go here, and then if, same thing, if they go down, then I can... Actually, there I would be stuck, wouldn't I? Yeah, why wouldn't they try? I don't know. But the point is that Stockfish says I have an advantage if I play this outright. And on this move, I resigned, thinking I was lost because they're going to go here. I'm not going to get their knight. They might get my knight, and I resign. Last example I'm going to show you. In this game, which arose out of the Caro-Kann defense advanced variation, I'm playing against an opponent who is about 200 points higher than me and has just beaten me in the game where I was playing with the white pieces. I thought I was almost done for here, but I'm holding it together. I have this knight here, which is protected by the rook from the side, blockading their pawn, their e-pawn. The bishop that their queen is aiming at, I'm protecting with my rook back here. And they've just moved this knight in here, which is attacking this knight. I need to defend it. And I play the best move here, which keeps us at about equality. And now it says that their best move is just to take it. Well, they didn't. They decided that I might take them here in a second, now that I've lined up my queen with them. So they brought their other knight in, thinking, if I take here, which is actually my best move at this point, they will take back and be guarding their queen. Or alternatively, if I take and they take my queen and then then they could take the knight back. Either way, we come out each losing and trading off knights and queens. And they still have these 2 rooks barreling right down the middle. And my pieces are kind of awkward over here. So anyway, we're very close to equality. I didn't take their knight. I played here because I didn't realize that that's what they were thinking. I thought this knight was about to come in here and attack my knight from another direction. So I thought I can defend that here. Okay, all they have to do here to maintain their advantage is bring their queen back, because guess what? This pawn's starting to get pretty weak right now with their knight shooting at it, and their queen could aim at it from down on c2. Okay, but they didn't do that. They took that pawn before they moved their queen back. Maybe they got their moves out of order. I don't know. And at first, when I first saw that, I thought, wait, they're just giving me the knight. But then I saw king and queen lined up on the same file, and this rook's going to move over. So they're giving me the knight, and then they're going to win my queen. And basically my best move at that point would be to take it, and then they would take back. And again, they had just beaten me in the game where they had the white pieces, and now here with the black pieces, I thought, I'm lost. So I resigned. As you can see from the engine suggestion, it says go ahead and take it. It's at about equality if I take this knight, minus 0.13. So I have a slight edge according to this version of Stockfish. Interestingly, when I click the cloud analysis and let this run for longer, it's when it gets to like depth 38, depth 40, it says we're at zeros. When I put this on Lichess and let it run up into the 30s, depth 30, depth 33, it says we're at zeros here if I take the knight. So what happens? They're going to move that rook over, sure. Look at that. But guess what? Stockfish just very calmly wants me to put my bishop here. Okay, I didn't see that. The bishop was down here. I thought it was doing an important job guarding that pawn, but then I forgot about it, other than to think, okay, the rook is protecting it. I forgot I could move. It can go right there. And now what, they can take it, right? It said it would be a mistake for them to take it. What they need to do is go here. But what if they did take it? I don't know. I can't take back with this one. That knight's pinned. Oh, it says just take with my pawn? Okay. And now it says their best move is to attack here. Really? See, I'm surprised. And then I would take, obviously, I think. And then wouldn't they bring this over again? Oh, and now I would just take that too. Oh, wow. And my two rooks and my knight are going to stave off this queen at some point. I assume here I would want to go help protect my knight. No, it says move over. Okay, well, obviously we didn't get that far. We got to here and I resigned. And so if it's ever happened to you, don't feel bad. If you've ever resigned thinking it all was lost and then went to look at the evaluation and realized, oh, I had chances. That's one of the reasons that I didn't used to resign at all. Now, often I will resign if I just can't see a way forward. If I don't see, I just don't have anything good, I will resign. But as you can see from these three examples, I've been wrong. So I still need to work on that weakness, which is being able to evaluate a position in mid-game. And maybe I shouldn't be so quick to resign. I am obviously not a titled player. I'm not at the level where you expect your opponent to resign once you're up a pawn or something. At our level, at my level, and me specifically, I clearly cannot correctly evaluate these positions all the time. So I can't be expected to know that I'm in a losing position, because sometimes when I think I am losing, I'm not. Well, so anyway, I hope this helped you in some way or another. I am going to continue working on evaluating my positions. I don't know if I'm going to change my personal policy on when to resign. Usually it's just a feeling, not a hard and fast rule. But I am going to work on evaluating the positions and figuring out whether I'm winning or losing. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.